Welcome to JMO with Josh and Joe. It is Tuesday, November 22nd. And Joe, it's about that time where Americans are going to pretend to like soccer.
Yep, exactly. We are all number one soccer fans right now.
Yes. I don't care where you are in the world. USA soccer fans are the number one soccer fans. And they will be for the next couple of weeks.
And Christian Pulisic is the second coming of LeBron James.
Yes, he is the soccer LeBron James. I'll admit it. I'm one of those fake fans. I get about this time when the FIFA World Cup comes along or the Olympics, I'll get jacked up for soccer. I will, and I mean, like watching it in a bar with a bunch of people, like getting juiced up whenever somebody scores. It's fucking exhilarating, dude. The bar I was at when watching USA Wales when the USA scored, the whole place fucking erupted.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was unbelievable. Soccer fans are wild.
No, they are. It's a different type of sport. But it's funny because I always, no matter how US is, like I always just imagine in myself or have that false sense of hope that they're just gonna win it all.
Yeah, they're gonna do like they do in wars and just like they're the underdog story. They just think they're gonna like every time like in World War II, World War I, the Revolutionary War, they're just going to come around and beat everybody. That's what I think. I convinced myself that it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then I realized very quickly that, yes, the rest of the world is way better than us at soccer.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'm feeling lucky this year. I feel good. That was the game versus Wales. Let's dive right into it. The game versus Wales, it was a warm-up game. It looked, if you watch the game, USA, again, we're not soccer guys. Just, I can't emphasize that enough.
Really stress this point.
Really stress that point. We're not, they just, it seemed like after they scored, they kind of played conservative.
Yeah.
Is that right? I mean, is that kind of what you gathered?
Yeah, that's what kind of I gathered, and, what I kind of heard around was just like, and just kind of what you could see, they weren't as aggressive. And right. It's when you get up 1-0 in a sport that has hardly any scoring, it is easy to get like conservative.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean we see it in football all the time. You see teams, they'll go up and they'll start playing conservatively, and you'll see the opponent creep on up and sometimes pull out the upset. Like
yeah,
I just feel like you got a game plan, you stick to it, you stay aggressive. So, yeah, the USA ties Wales 1-1, which means that a tie gives us 1 point. In our group, a tie gives us 1 point. A win gives you 3, I believe, and a loss is 0.
Okay.
And I think they take – this is the way this is the way I think. I think they take the top 2. So, after each team plays each other, they'll take the top 2 in that group. Mm-hmm. And then the top 2 move on to the next round or whatever they call it.
That's what I remember it as well. But again, stressing that not soccer fans.
We're definitely fake soccer fans.
We're just on the whim right now.
Yes.
Basically remembering what we learned 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's exactly. and 4 years ago, we were in this exact same situation.
Yeah.
Where we were trying to remember what happened 4 years before that.
Yeah.
So it's just a continuous cycle. It's okay. But it's okay because I'm getting pumped up. I'm patriotic, man. Like it's fun. It's fun right now to just root for your country in soccer, especially when you have an upset like Saudi Arabia versus Argentina. Mm-hmm. That was a David versus Goliath type of win from what I'm hearing from the soccer world.
I mean, you can tell by the reaction too. Doors were being flown all over the places. Like the reaction, it was. I mean, because what is it? I don't know if it's a part of because obviously I don't know anything outside the U.S. But geographically, but Qatar. It's right next to, if it's not its own country, it's right next to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Is it a part of Saudi Arabia?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't go to school for that.
Yeah,
so,
I found myself Google Earthing it because I wanted to see what it was like. Because obviously
Dude,
they got this.
Qatar is like I know people have their own opinions on Qatar and whatever, but like say what you want, they got something like. They're doing something right. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the western side of Saudi Arabia. It is its own country though.
Okay.
It's damn. Okay.
Because I found myself like trying to figure that out, but then I got easily sidetracked and started Google Earthing Dubai.
Oh yeah, Dubai is awesome.
Yeah.
Dubai is like that. They're low key flexing on the entire world right now.
Oh yeah.
They got it's a beautiful place. Yeah, it's located on the east side of the Persian Gulf, Qatar. Yeah, it's kind of small, but they got Saudi Arabia there, and probably got some oil. Anyways, so yeah, that. People were saying Argentina or Lionel Messi might finally get his FIFA World Cup trophy. I don't know. They're at a severe disadvantage right now. They have to win every single game.
Yeah.
Pretty much win the next 3 or however many games they got left. Yeah. So that's talking soccer. You got anything else on the World Cup?
Talking soccer.
Soccer. France destroyed Australia. The Aussies. They're in their quest to repeat as FIFA champions.
Yep. Well, they got that guy, Naby.
Mbappe.
Yeah, that's it.
He's nasty. Their other forwards really nasty too. I don't know his name. Yeah, I was watching a little bit of that match. Oh yeah, they don't say game, they say match. I was watching a little bit of that match, and you could tell France was it was like a varsity playing a JV team. Mm-hmm. There was not much to it. Australia got a lucky goal at the beginning, and it wasn't a lucky goal. It was a pretty nice goal, but they got one in the very, very beginning, and then France scored 4 unanswered goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep track of the World Cup because it's fun. It's a good time. Like, it's nice watching. Anytime the world is like teaming up with their countries and then going against each other is always fun, except for when it's war.
Definitely continue our Talkin Soccer segment.
Talking soccer, yeah.
Bring it back.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, we're gonna try and educate ourselves on talking soccer, and so we can at least sound competent, even though we're gonna be faking the entire thing.
Yeah.
All right. So. Hey, getting to NFL, it was kind of a normal week finally. I think we finally had a normal week of NFL. Like the NFL took its meds or sobered up or did whatever the fuck it needed to do, and we had two weird, wacky and upsets, but like other than that, seemed like the Packers are dead. Like it was just like it was normal. Like aside from maybe the Bears, Lions, and the Cowboys, Vikings, which we'll get to both of those games, it was all kind of normal. It was nice.
Yeah, all felt right in the world. The NFL was like, it was like one of those people that came out and they were like, you know what, hey, I'm the NFL. I'm 7 days sober.
Yeah.
It's finally got itself back on track.
He's at the NFL's at their AA meetings. They're on the bus. They're on the wagon. They're on the wagon. I'll give it a week. Thanksgiving should make them fall off the wagon. So
yeah,
it's not gonna last too long.
Relatives come in, the drugs come back in the pictures. You know how it goes.
Yep. Speaking of which, happy Turkey Day to everybody. This should be good. We have a nice slate of classic Thanksgiving games coming up, and then the weekend games. But let's get into these past games. So we have the Thursday game, Titans versus Packers. Like I said earlier, Green Bay is broken.
Yep,
they're broken, and they got it's like that car that it starts up and you can go, but for some reason you can't get it out of first gear. Mm-hmm. Cause so they got Christian Watson is a bright spot. He's the first gear, and then you got Adam Lazard, who maybe if he can get you to the red line, and then they're just broken after that. It just doesn't. The car doesn't work anymore.
I think you're right about it because a take that you had earlier this season. You might want to call it, I guess metaphorically, the engine, was broken down. But Aaron Rodgers has to look at himself in the mirror and be like, because this game was a fine like display of what you were saying earlier of like, hey, maybe it's Aaron Rodgers' fault.
Yeah,
because there was some passes down. What was it? I think I had a couple of them.
Dude,
marked down.
The Aaron Rodgers throws in the fourth quarter were horrendous.
I mean, that's like Mrs. Davis Mills has on a regular basis. Not an Aaron Rodgers.
No. That's a Zach Wilson throw.
Yeah.
Those were Zach Wilson throws.
Yes,
and you're right. Those were when he needed to come in clutch. And honestly, it's weird because normally he would make those throws.
Yeah, it was in the fourth quarter, 3rd and 12 to Sammy Watkins.
Yep.
Completely missed it, and then a crucial third and 3, and too high for Lazard.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we kind of just witnessed we witnessed the most lethal play in the NFL, and that is Derrick Henry doing the Tim Tebow.
Yep, doing the jump pass.
Lethal.
Yes.
Like, you are on the goal line, and you see Derrick Henry get the ball and start charging at you. I don't care who you are. You're going to go and meet him at the line of scrimmage because you have to.
Yeah.
And then he just pulls up and tosses it right over you. Tim Tebow's the fuck out of you.
And I got him say, like, the fact that they handed it off to him rather than doing the Wildcat, because a Wildcat, you still view him as a quarterback in a sense.
Correct.
Like, there is that possibility. He starts off in the quarterback position. He might be a quarterback. He might have to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. But this, where they ran the ball, and like Tannehill was looking over to the left side doing a pump fake or something that while he does the jump pass, I thought it was brilliant.
I think Vrabel perfected that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And like I said, it's the most lethal play in the NFL.
You can't guard it.
You can't. It's impossible. It was nice because he had a pretty good fantasy game, and that helped him out. Let's see. Rodgers had another great pump fake. I'm a sucker for a good pump fake. Andy Dalton had one this week too. Man, I'm telling you, like, I don't understand how their hands do it. They just grab onto it and they like sling it forward, and it looks like they're throwing it. And then it just comes down and like it fakes me out. Hell, it fakes the camera out most of the time too.
It's an old quarterback thing.
I think I
think it's an older quarterback thing because remember
it's in a veteran thing. What am I trying to say?
I mean, you've been just gripping the ball so long that you just, you become one with the ball. Your hand becomes one with the ball. I thought
it was going to be like an experience thing, but you actually become the football.
Yeah, your hand just adapts to like.
Yeah, like so the knights back in like the medieval times, what they would say is like your sword is basically an extension of your arm.
Mm-hmm.
The football ends up becoming an extension of his hand.
Exactly. Because remember, Ben Roethlisberger, at the end of his career, I mean, he was deadly. He was deadly with the pump fake.
So it just the football in his hand morphed into each other.
Yeah, because think about if Zach Wilson tried to do that, or Kenny Pickett tried to do it. No, I mean that ball's slipping out. That's a fumble.
Now, if they stay in the league for the next 10 to 12 years, guaranteed they'll have a lethal lead, because I guarantee that makes sense, because their hands will grow bigger because they keep grabbing the ball like that, and so it keeps stretching out their hands.
Guarantee you, go measure their hands. Right hand's bigger than the left hand.
Oh, for sure. Last thing I had on this was when they showed Mike Vrabel. I don't know if it was because of the cold or what. He looked like he had a lazy eye. I think it was his left eye. He looks like he had a lazy eye.
I wouldn't be surprised he got punched in practice.
He probably headbutted a player with a helmet on, and he didn't have a helmet on.
Pulled a Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, definitely. Like he probably does that to get himself pumped up for the games. He just grabs a player by the face mask and just drills his head into his helmet.
Okay.
That seems like a Mike Vrabel thing to do, right?
It definitely fits his personality there.
For sure. Him and Brian Dable. They actually, when they play each other, they probably just headbutt each other.
Yeah.
And then that's how they just get pumped up. And then Jeff Saturday's on the field doing push-ups.
If that was if they were ever to play each other, Titans versus Giants, and it end up in a tie, like it would be, I feel like they would just go in the middle of the field and just wrestle it out.
Yeah.
Now
that would determine the winner.
And they would be like, they would be both be content and like agree, like, hey, this is how we're gonna finish the game.
Okay, I'm down. They should do that more often. Mm-hmm. They should have people like duel out on the field, like just bring out two pistols and just have one of have them duel, like, or just like fencing, bring out the swords. I don't know. Something.
Or maybe like the Oklahoma drill or something like
the
that.
Oklahoma drill would be perfect. Yeah, they need because I don't think ties belong in the NFL. It's just when you see a record that's 4-3-1, it's weird. It doesn't fit. We need to do away with it. Or, dude, we could do like a Knight's Tale and just joust.
Oh, do a jousting match.
Yeah, dude, a jousting match for to determine the winner. I'm down. We need to let's.
Can you imagine like Dan Campbell riding a horse? I don't know which one's bigger.
Actually, I want to. I'm picturing Andy Reid riding the horse. The horse tears his ACL.
You just see the horse go down before they even collide.
Yeah. So we fixed we fixed ties in the NFL. We'll have to contact Goodell because we got his number and everything. You got anything else on the Titans Packers?
No, that's about it.
All right, Titans beat Packers 27-17. Let's get to the Bears Falcons. Bears offense is awesome. The Bears defense is atrocious.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Offense is coming around. They finally did what they were supposed to do with Justin Fields and like cater the offense to him instead
Matt
of
Nagy is the dumbest one of the dumbest head coaches.
Yeah. But I mean the other team, or what was it? The other coaching staff this year actually tried to do the same thing, but thank God they weren't like stubborn like Matt Nagy, and they actually adjusted.
Yeah, they improvise, adapt, overcome, like Bear Grylls teaches us.
Yeah, like okay, we got a Michael Vick on our hands, so we're just gonna let him run.
Yes, absolutely. Did you see Cole Kmet's one arm grab?
Yes,
lethal. I think he might be a tight end to focus on, at least fantasy wise, but also like I think Fields is gonna like. You know how those young quarterbacks, they like their tight ends. They feel comfortable throwing to their big tight ends.
Mm-hmm. Because usually it's not like a deep pass or like a complicated pass. It's something over the middle they can kind of see within their vision. And if you can get the good chemistry and good, kind of compatibility with your tight end. I mean, we've seen it in the league. Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes.
They're a quarterback's best friend in the red zone.
Yeah.
Like you anytime Travis Kelce gets the ball in the red zone, it's going to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
We saw that Sunday. It was wild. Did you see the Mike Ditka bachelor party?
Oh, yes.
That was lit.
Yes.
That was lit. That was awesome. He is a legend. He's definitely a Chicago Bears legend, but all of them were dressed up exactly like Mike Ditka.
Exactly the same.
Absolutely incredible. I wish I would. More bachelor parties need to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the adaptation of the bachelorette party where they all dress up, but they all do stupid stuff. Like the guys are much cooler.
Yeah, always. The Falcons' uniforms were dope. I think more teams need to do. Did you see their uniforms? Mm-hmm. It starts off red up top and then it fades into the black.
Yeah, I didn't really want to acknowledge how cool it was, but because it was the Falcons. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
They're hot garbage, anyways.
They might win the division. I mean, they're still terrible, hot garbage.
I was about to say that doesn't say anything.
Yeah,
our division is warm spit water. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. So Kyle Pitts. This sucks because he got hurt, but every single fantasy owner of Kyle Pitts is literally thanking their lucky stars now because they don't have to decide whether or not they're going to start him.
Yep.
Like again, don't root for injuries, but they're all breathing a sigh of relief.
Yep.
The play calling for Chicago on that last drive was horrendous. Why do you start off? You're trying to manage a game-winning drive. I get it. You have a running quarterback. Don't call two QB draws on first and second down and then make them throw the ball.
Yeah,
that's how the interception happened.
You also got to read the room type of situation. Like your quarterback's nicked up. Like, I mean, what you're gonna run him into collision automatically? Like I would at least just have him in the pocket or roll him out to where he can either throw the ball away or get something safe.
Guarantee you throwing even though his shoulder was hurt, throwing the ball is gonna be less painful than getting hit.
Well, because it was his opposite shoulder.
Right.
Wasn't his throwing shoulder.
I mean, it still hurts. You gotta you use your other arm to help power it. But yeah, Bears versus Falcons. I don't got anything else.
I do want to talk about the Cordell Patterson sets the career kick return record at 9 with his kick return.
The kick return.
Yeah.
It's different from the punt return.
Yes, it is different. Because I did notice. All right, I did wonder about that because my thing was I was like, well, what was Devin Hester like? Was Devin Hester up there? Devin Hester, to clear up the air, because I did some research on this, he's got the record for the most punt returns. So they do
returns for a touchdown.
For a touchdown.
I mean, he was lethal. He was lethal.
He had 14.
That's insane.
Yeah, the next closest is 10.
Who's that? Do you remember?
No, it was an older player. I think back in the 90s.
Oh, okay. Oh no, that's not D'Angelo Hall.
No, D'Angelo Hall was up there.
Michael Lewis is probably up there.
Michael Lewis was a little bit up there as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know because Devin Hester.
No, Dante Hall.
Dante Hall. That's it. Let's see. You got anything else on this one?
That's about it.
All right. Let's go. Bears lose to the Falcons 24-27. Browns versus Bills. We got robbed. That was supposed to be the Snow Bowl.
Yep, definitely.
They were like, it was concern for the fans. Like, you're talking about the Buffalo Bills Mafia. You're concerned for the Bills Mafia at this point?
Yeah, you don't think they were going to show out?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. These motherfuckers get so fucking hammered and break so many goddamn tables. They live in this shit. They eat, sleep, and breathe this shit. This is flowing in their... The cold is their lifeblood. Like, they hit their stride in the winter.
I wouldn't be surprised if their body is in a constant numbness, like at all times.
They have to be. Like, do you see how high from... Like, these guys are jumping from what would be equivalent to a rooftop onto these tables and getting up and just getting fucking pumped out of their gorge.
Yeah.
They have to be numb. They're just always numb. But it's awesome, and you should not be concerned for Bills fans at all. That was dumb. So we got robbed of that. It was in Detroit. So the blue end zone, they were like, it was like the Bills blue and the Detroit blue were very similar. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a little bit of an advantage because since they match up and they blend in, it's hard for the defender to see them.
Okay.
Like they can, like the defender can lose them in
a little camouflage action
in the sea of blue.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they need to look into that. I don't know. I think it is. Coach, let's put it this way: coaches should put that in their game plan. Figure out what color the end zone is, and then go from there.
And then they kind of make their jerseys. So they should have done the full blue jerseys.
Yeah. And then cater the blue and everything like that. So yeah. Actually, Bills are going to be right back in Detroit on Thursday. They're playing Detroit. So
that's right.
This is whose home field advantage is it really? Let's see. Njoku had a great hurdle. That was fun. Did you see that?
Yes, I did see that.
The hurdle was dope.
Proving yet again how talented he is.
Yes, he is. He's unbelievable. The Browns couldn't get Chubb going. He was like, I think he had 14 carries for 19 yards or something like that?
Well, he probably adjusted his game plan that he was going to be, running through snow. And then, it threw him off that he was in Detroit.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, he game planned for the snow. Oh,
probably, workouts during the week and stuff like that. He adjusted that, hey, I'm going to be plowing through the snow. I'm going to do my, workouts a certain way. Maybe did more of the I don't know what the technical term is, but had something strapped to him where he was pulling a sled, pulling the sled right behind him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, that's true. Or he was running through whatever they set up to emulate snow.
Yeah.
It could have been it. And so he just he was playing like he was going to be running through snow, and he wasn't. So.
Maybe he was at the mall and the fake snow setups. He was actually plowing through a bunch of Santas and kids.
Yeah, he plowed through. Well, I think that stuff is like cotton, right?
Hey, you know what?
Either way, he just plowed through a bunch of sandals.
I don't think it's going to stop Nick Chubb, if he thinks it's going to help him, with his training.
Right. And he hurdled a couple of L's. Mm-hmm. So, all right, we were talking about this. We have a good idea for onside kicks. Because it happened this game. Cleveland kicker, I don't know if he meant to do this, but he kicked it really, really hard.
Oh, yeah.
At the Buffalo player, and it bounced off of him.
Yes.
With the way the rules are nowadays with onside kicks, they're nearly impossible. I think they need to just kick the ball as hard as they can at the closest opponent.
I mean, because how challenging it is it for him to catch it? It's not like it's a pass. I know they have their best pass catchers on the receiving end. If they have their receiving team when on the onside kick. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that's not a normal pass.
Right, exactly. This guy's booting the ball as hard as he can, and you're only 10 yards away.
Yeah.
And it's not coming at you in a spiral. This is coming at you like sideways. Like it's a weird, and then like most of they're probably not going to be expecting it. At least when they first start doing it.
Mm-hmm. Because this is the research phase. It's the research phase since they changed the rule that, all these kickers are trying these onside kick strategies. We've seen it. They put the ball sideways on the tee, and they do all these other things. They try to do the fake out. I don't think the fake out really works.
No, the fake out is so stupid.
The fake out,
like you're gonna fake to one side and then go to the other. That's so fucking stupid. It actually just kills your momentum and makes you have a terrible kick.
Yeah, because the thing is, the only way you get an advantage is if there was one side that was more loaded than the other side. But the rules state that you have to have equal amount of people on each side.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, that's stupid.
Yeah. So hey, there we go. Let's try it. Just boot it directly at the guy's face.
Yeah, peg the guy.
Because it looks like it almost worked. Like it bounced off of him, and Cleveland should have recovered that kick.
Oh yeah, dude, it was close.
It was very close. But you got anything else on this one?
That's it.
All right. Browns lose to the Bills 23-31. Let's get to the Eagles versus Colts. The Eagles are frauds. They're frauds. I don't care that they came back and won. They are frauds. They're fraudulent. There was a face mask no call against Matt Ryan late in the game that would have basically sealed the win. So in my mind, the Eagles didn't win this. The refs lost it for the Colts. We did have a pretty bad pass interference. It was called, but do you remember he just like tackled the guy?
Oh yeah,
10 yards. Like the ball was still like 10 yards away in the air.
Yep.
It was pretty bad. It was kind of funny though. But the Eagles are frauds. That's all I'm saying. Eagles are frauds.
Eagles are frauds. I think I got a little. Team. I think I got a little expansion on that as well. But yeah, I think Eagles are frauds. Yeah, that missed field goal, that missed face mask call. I don't think it was like a bad face mask call, or the face mask
like
call.
A 15-yard penalty face mask, but like unintentional.
Yeah, like if they still had it separated like they did back in the day. But at the same time, it's a face mask. They're trying to avoid that at all costs. So it should have been called.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. How do you not? I'm going to chalk this up to Jeff Saturday being essentially a rookie head coach. How do you not have a spy on Jalen Hurts in the red zone? He walked right on in. Like, bro, if you make the stops, that you win because they have to score a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Put a spy on Jalen Hurts. He's one of the most electric. One of the most electric athletic quarterbacks in the game.
He's a little out of touch, outdated.
Yeah. Okay. So
quarterbacks back when he was playing, Peyton Manning.
True.
Eli Manning, guys that can't run.
Okay. So, yeah, it's just growing pains. That's why I'm chalking it up to him just being a rookie head coach.
I will say this: the coaches did steal the storylines a little bit. Jeff Saturday was doing push-ups before the game.
Yep.
That's definitely a young coach thing. But we have a lot of coaches that are especially like the young coaches that just came out of the game, that it's like every time during game day, I guarantee you they just wish that they were still out there on the field. Like they just they get so hyped up that they did during the games, like they just wish that they were still playing.
Like they're trying to live vicariously through the players, but then they get out on the field, they feel it. They're like, oh my God, I gotta do my same routine.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Like you never see that shit from Andy Reid or Bill Belichick.
Fuck no. They're eating cheeseburgers on the side of the sidelines.
Yeah, and then the other sideline, Nick Sirianni is
chirping at the fans after the game.
Yep, I saw that.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, he got way too pumped up for that win. He should not be. He should be more pissed off. See, and that's the mark. Bill Belichick would have been pissed off. Mm-hmm. He would have went straight to the locker room, cussed out his players.
Maybe the reporter.
Yeah, maybe the reporter, and went home, drank some whiskey, fucked his wife, and then went to bed. Whatever he does when he gets home. I don't know.
Is it a wife or girlfriend?
I think it's his.
He might have married her now.
I think they're married.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. That's the mark of a coach that's not going to win a championship right there. He should not have been happy with this W.
Still riding on Eagles frauds.
Well, Eagles are frauds, yes. Anyways, you got anything else?
That's it.
Eagles beat the Colts. Well, no, the refs beat the Colts 17-16. Let's quickly go through this one. Well, not quickly, actually. I have a couple of things. Jets versus Pats. Hot seat, Zach Wilson. And this is not a hot seat for moms.
Yep. Nope.
So I guess when in the post-game press conference when asked if it was his fault or what was it? Do you remember exactly what he said?
Yeah, it's if he let the defense down.
If he let the defense down, he said no. Bro, whenever you have more punts in the game than completions, yes, that is all on you. That's when you pull out every single just cliche, just quarterback coach cliche. Yeah, I gotta look in the mirror. It starts with me. Don't blame anyone else, but this was my fault. That's when you bring out all of those.
Yeah.
When you have more punts in the game than completions, you have to just basically build a big old pile of it starts with me quotes.
Yeah, and the cool thing was, or the funny thing was Justin Fields took full advantage of this because he came out and he was like, hey, I apologize to my defense. This one's on me, and really, really rode on that under the light of,
Yeah. Oh no, he took Zach Wilson, what Zach Wilson did, and just made it vault him to the top. Now everybody loves Justin Fields.
Of course.
And honestly, it was probably it's a good strategy because they hate Zach Wilson even more now.
Oh yeah, very.
Now you have something to compare it to.
Very opportune moment there by Justin Fields. Well done.
I'm starting to like Justin Fields more and more.
Oh yeah, exactly.
He's a guy. He's a guy.
He's a guy.
He's almost got that dog status, but I think he's a guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. This game was boring as fuck. Like Mac Jones had a decent game. They had they had their first punt return of the season. First punt return for a touchdown of the season, and what better time?
It was literally you basically could turn on this game with a minute left, and you saw everything.
Seriously, it was 3-3 the whole fucking game.
Yeah, with 26 seconds left.
Exactly. Mac Jones was 23 for 27 with 246 yards. He had 0 touchdowns, but he had 0 interceptions. Both of these defenses are fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're really, really good. The Jets can't beat the Patriots. They just can't beat the Patriots. It's impossible.
No, Belichick owns them.
Yes. But yeah, I don't really have anything else for this game. Do you have?
No, I noticed this was kind of a trend with these cold weather games. They were a little bit of a low-scoring matchups if they weren't in the dome.
Gotcha, yeah. Well, I do want to say that is probably true, but both these defenses have been lights out the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Jets lose to the Patriots 3-10. Next one, Lions versus Giants. Did not see this coming.
So this brings the question, we've been saying, or let's put it this way, more like you've been saying this all season, that the Eagles are frauds.
Or the NFC East frauds.
I think they are. Now, granted, it's hard to say that. I think yes, that is true. I think the NFC East is a fraudulent division. It is kind of tough to say that after the Cowboys just mollywop the Vikings.
Well, that's because Kirk Cousins actually went back to being Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, okay, that's true. That's true. Kirk Cousins did Kirk Cousins things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the NFC East as a whole are frauds. They're just a fraudulent division.
Yeah.
And they might have 3 fucking teams in the playoffs, and all 3 of them are going to
Lose first round.
unless they play each other. That's the only way that the NFC East will get somebody in the second round, or if the Eagles have a bye.
Yeah.
That's it. Whatever, dude. Actually, I think the Cowboys are going to still win the division, but Saquon was not back. He was not back today.
Not back.
Not back on Sunday. You know who was back? Jamal Williams.
Yes.
He has, get this, he has 1 less touchdown than the entire Broncos offense. The entire Broncos offense has 1 more touchdown than just Jamal Williams.
Jeez on Pete's.
Dude's a touchdown fiend. I
Yeah.
think he has 12 touchdowns on the season now.
Something like that.
Unreal. It's turning out Aiden Hutchinson is actually worth showing why he was the number 2 overall pick.
Yeah. No, he's a good ball player.
He's getting better and better. His he had a nice interception. He had a fumble recovery. He was doing it all. Doing it all day. And the great thing about this is like each week he has progressed and gotten better and better and better. And that's all you want to see from your young talent, your young rookies especially. Just getting better and better every single week, adapting to the game. I think he's done that better than most rookies I've seen.
Yeah.
So there you go. Lions, you got a bright spot. Look, you got another road win.
Mm-hmm.
Another road win. You beat the Giants, the 7-2 at the time. 7-2 at the time. The 7-2 Giants, whatever. You beat a Giants team with a really good record. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say a good Giants team. I'm gonna say a Giants team with a really good record.
Yeah, because they're frauds.
They're frauds. And let's see. You got anything else in this game?
That's about it.
Let's see. What the fuck? Dude, some of my notes, I just don't understand what I was thinking at the time.
Okay.
But the Lions beat the Giants 31-18. Panthers, Ravens.
13-3.
13. What? Yeah, this was 13-3.
Yeah.
I was talking about the Lions, Giants. But anyways, yeah. Panthers, Ravens. Oh, I see what you're doing.
I was giving you a little help there.
Yeah, I forgot to put. This is how much I don't want to talk about this game. I didn't even put down the score.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The only thing I have on this is there was a big man pick. A big man interception.
Big man interception.
That's it.
Baker got the start.
Yeah, I know.
Which, there's only one way to bring Sam Darnold back in the starting lineup, and that's to start Baker Mayfield.
Play Baker Mayfield. Yeah, you're not wrong. Ravens got some work to do.
They are a 7-3 team, but it does not feel like they're a 7-3 team.
I don't want to call them frauds yet, though. I don't like calling.
They're broken.
They got some fixing to do.
They need a tune-up.
Yeah, exactly. Probably they just need like an oil change, maybe a new air filter. Mm-hmm. Maybe the alternator's starting to go out. Like I don't know. But they just need something. They need to get a tune-up, get some upgrades, and then they'll be back. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Didn't really have one.
Nope. Panthers lose to the Ravens 3-13. This is another Commanders versus Texans. That's it.
Texans had 5 yards in the first half.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it. I love those stats. Those are fun.
Yeah.
The Commanders had control of the whole game. It's not saying much because it's the Texans, and they honestly, it's honestly closer than it because they had the. Texans had the garbage time touchdown, so it's closer than what the score shows.
Yeah.
It was closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
No, I can't even decide if this is like a Lovie Smith thing or if this is just like a,
Texans are a terrible team. Because it could be both. It could be both, or it could be one or the other.
I don't know. I got to look at the Texans team a little bit, like in depth, because we just never talk about them. They're just bad, so we never want to like look into.
Do you really know anybody that's on that team?
Damian Pierce and Davis Mills and Derek Stingley Jr. That's it.
Maybe a Brandon Cooks,
maybe
but
Brandon
there's
Cooks.
Nobody else on the receiving end.
Yeah.
And Brandon Cooks, I don't think is a number one wide receiver.
Right. I don't know. Brandon Cooks is pretty good, but yeah, I think he's a good wide receiver too.
I think he shows good numbers because he's the only option there.
Yeah, dude, I can't think of anybody.
There's really nobody.
So yeah, I'll have to look into their team. Anything else?
That's about it.
All right, the Commanders beat the Texans 23-10. The Raiders versus the Broncos. Okay, so you remember how Russell Wilson always was saying, Broncos country, let's ride?
Yeah.
They're riding. They are riding. It's just, it's the ride on, you remember in the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the old one?
Okay.
Where they're on the boat and they go through that tunnel?
Yep.
And it's just like this freaky ride.
Just horrifying.
Yeah, horrifying. It's terrible for the kids. That's the ride that the Broncos are on right now.
So that's actually a pretty good analogy right there because the kids and everybody are all excited about it because it's they're in or Willy Wonka's actual chocolate factory, so they're thinking this is a ride, this is gonna be fun, and then it's just horrifying.
They come out they come out petrified.
It's just like a nightmare.
They die. It is a nightmare. They die. We don't really know what happened to the kids, right?
Yet Willy Wonka, how he was smiling and laughing. Russell Wilson smiling and laughing because he's got his $240 million.
Yeah, exactly. He's just taking all of these Broncos fans and Broncos players on this stupid fucking ride. And it's just freaking everybody out. So yeah, they are riding. He was not wrong. It's just not the ride that they thought.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon's not on that ride anymore.
No, he's not. He got off. He jumped off the boat.
Yeah,
he's like, I'll swim. They had the energetic announcer. For this game.
Yes,
he's electric. I love it.
Yeah, he is electric, and I mean, especially with two terrible teams like this, definitely made it more entertaining than what it should have been.
Right. So Nathaniel Hackett led another coach call plays. I can't remember who. It was some offensive coach. Didn't help. You can't leave Devontae Adams that wide open in OT.
He was that wide open on two pass plays.
I don't understand it. He's got 10 receiving touchdowns right now. You know that, right?
Oh yeah,
he's unreal. He's been just eaten. Yeah, the Broncos are the very definition of a dumpster fire. They got swept by the Raiders. I think they're going to get swept by everybody in their division.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they're going to win a single divisional game.
No.
Oh, fuck. This is just, whew, it's tough. Do you got anything else on this one?
I guess the one cool thing to talk about, there was a crazy tip pass where it was tipped by the receiver, tipped by the defender, and then almost caught back by the receiver.
Yep.
It was just a whirlwind of emotions. But
there you go.
And especially with
the Broncos ride,
especially with that with the announcer too, the way he was commentating it was actually made it pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, I think the announcers can make or break some games, honestly.
Yep.
But yeah, the Raiders beat the Broncos 22-16. All right, so the weird game, Cowboys-Vikings. If you're the Vikings, this is a throw out the tape and just start over. Mm-hmm. You just forget this week ever happened. You put some ice on your wounds and then move on.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Kevin O'Connell has to know. He's Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. He's not going to be Kirk Thuggins all the time. If he's going to go that high and get that name and Kirk Thuggins and such, he's going to hit another low, equally opposite,
absolutely
type of reaction. That's just
Kirk O'Chains can only stay on top for so long before he just plummets down to the bottom. It's what you're gonna get when you sign Kirk Cousins. That's just what you get.
The best thing is to keep him at a very medium kind of median type of wavelength because if you go too high, he's gonna go way too low.
Okay, so what they need to do with him is immediately after the game, let him shower off in the locker room, or actually he might just let him shower off in the locker room with the team, and then he needs to be taken out by himself and the transportation for him back home needs to be just Kirk Cousins. He can't be celebrating in the plane anymore with his teammates because that's when he gets too high.
Yep.
He needs to be kept on an even keel.
Yep.
All right, cool. It was Kirk O'Chains and Kirk Thuggins was fun though. Mm-hmm. That was a good time. Michael Parsons is a monster. Kirk Cousins had zero time. He was just getting he was getting pressured from all over the place.
Yeah. Like what Harold Perkins from LSU did with Arkansas the week before is what Michael Parsons did this week.
Absolutely. He's really good. Pollard's fun to watch. He's awesome. If Zeke doesn't watch out, Pollard's going to take over.
Actually, I think he's already taken over. I think they basically are just treating Zeke like a child now and just like giving him like the easy goal line carries, to make him think he's like a starting running back.
It's like when you give your child the controller that's not plugged in,
or just give him.
It's like, yeah, good job, buddy, good job. You got the touchdown.
You did so good.
You did so good. When he didn't do anything.
And he's like, I'm the running back of the Cowboys. He's like, of course, you did all the work, huh?
Yeah, good job, kid.
Like Tony Pollard in the background, just knowing full good and well, like, yeah, I did all of this to get us here.
Exactly. Yeah. They got to do something because they paid him all that money. Mm-hmm. So, it's just the spoiled brat. Dak had a decent game too. It was a good, obviously the Cowboys came out to play. They fucking came out to play. Dak was 22 of 25 for 276 yards and 2 tutties. That was one of those games where when you're on the winning side, that's a fun game. Mm-hmm. That's fun. You're just smiling ear to ear the whole time. Your defense plays really well. Your offense put up 40.
Everything's going right.
Yeah. So it's Cowboys fans, enjoy it while it lasts because y'all are frauds.
The whole NFC East is frauds.
The whole NFC East is frauds.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys are the least fraudulent team, though, just because that defense is so fucking good.
Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, anything else on this one?
Yeah, I do want to mention the Brett Maher.
Kick?
He kicked 2 60-yarders back-to-back. Because he kicked the initial one and then they stopped the play because they wanted to review that awesome catch by CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that toe touch.
Yeah, so and then they kept the play because it was an awesome play, and it should have stayed. And then he kicked the 60-yarder again.
He only makes 60 yard plus.
Yeah,
that's it. That's his MO.
And actually, what was it? Tony Romo actually made sure that he didn't jinx him.
Oh, really? Good job, Tony.
Or it was not Tony. It was Fox. It should have been a Fox game.
It was somebody else. I know what you're talking about.
Somebody else, but
the announcer did. He had the wherewithal and the self-awareness to know not to jinx him.
Yeah, because he was like, I think he said he's made, instead of saying he's made all of his 60-yarders. He said he hasn't missed a 60-yarder yet.
Okay.
I don't know if why this change in terminology was big, but I guess it's more of a jinx if you say he's made every single one this year.
Right.
So I don't know. It's something that they discussed.
Gotcha.
On air.
Good for you. Good for them. Good for them. You got anything else?
That's it.
All right. Cowboys mollywhopped the Vikings 40-3. Saints Rams. I don't want to talk about this one too much, but as soon as we stop caring about the Saints, they play well.
Yeah.
I had a hard time getting up for this game. I had a hard time getting excited. And then they play well. They played well. Dalton had a decent game. He was 21 of 25 for 260 yards and 3 tutties. I don't know. I mean, we did get a little lucky with Matt Stafford getting hurt. Perkins is awful. Perkins is not good at football. Did you see some of the throws he was making? The backup quarterback for the Rams?
Oh, yeah.
He was not good.
Yeah.
They need to figure something out or get Stafford back soon because he ain't it. But, yeah, that's about all I have for this one. I don't know if you want to talk about the Saints a little bit.
No, I mean, I don't know. I guess they got all of their fans really, really drunk because they were like, okay, I got to get really drunk to actually watch this game, and then they were like, okay, shit, all right, now we're back in the mix again.
Yeah. I had to check the score the next day because I completely forgot.
I'm just gonna have to really set expectations next week because I'm gonna really think that we're coming back and we actually have a chance to make the playoffs again.
Because we do.
And I'm going to get disappointed.
Statistically speaking, we do still have a chance because our division's so bad. Yeah, let's just set the bar so low that like it's loser talk. We're talking like we're a couple of losers. I get it, but look, man. Being a Saints fan, like we had our Drew Brees run, but other than that, like we had Archie Manning in the 70s and Drew Brees in the teens, and other than that, it has been just a pathetic, miserable existence as a Saints fan.
Yeah.
But we do have a Super Bowl, so I can't really say anything. Let's see, anything else?
That's it.
Saints beat the Rams 27-20. You can tell they didn't have Cooper Kupp. That's the last thing I have.
Mm-hmm.
Bengals versus Steelers. Surprisingly, a high-scoring game. I was not thinking it would be that high-scoring. Pittsburgh, if they can get it together, they got some dogs. Like T.J. Watt he's a complete game changer. George Pickens. Unbelievable wide receiver. He had a great catch Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So they got some dogs. They just need to put it together. I think they need to like Kenny Pickett needs to get better.
They're the ones that you're going to hear the fans that are going to be like, oh, dude, just wait till next year, though. Mm-hmm. Just wait till next year, though. And that's something that they can hold their head to. It's like, hey, I'm going to watch these guys be really entertaining right now. We might not win a lot of games, here on out, but at the same time, like next year, though, next year.
Yep. They're going to keep rolling with that, which is good because it's not like they were going to try and get rid of Mike Tomlin, but he can afford now a couple of losing seasons.
Yes, he's got the excuse now.
Yep. So, which I think Pickett could get good. Like, I mean, once they fit him into the system correctly and they start calling plays that he's good for, they could. And Pittsburgh's always a tough out. They're never an easy game. This game the score's a little deceiving because the last touchdown by the Steelers was garbage time tutty, so it was really like 37-23. Yeah. Other than that, I got the all white jerseys for the Bengals are fucking awesome.
Yeah, they are, and I think the Bengals have a game plan each week. It's like, hey, who are we going to give like all the touchdowns to this week? And Samaje Perine was the winner this week.
So it's just like a toss up. Like you don't know who's going to get all the tutties,
but they're going to get all of them.
Yes, yeah. Is Mixon? How hurt is Mixon?
I don't know. I did not see that. How hurt he was. I think he's just nicked up, though.
I agree.
I don't remember seeing any update of, long term on that injury.
Yep. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, AFC North division games are always really good. So that's what I got on that. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Bengals beat the Steelers 37-30. Chiefs Chargers, great fucking game.
Great Sunday night matchup.
Great fucking Sunday night matchup. Mahomes is the MVP. He's easily the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
He might not get it. I mean, he's got no Juju Smith-Schuster. Kadarius Toney wasn't a factor. I don't know if he got hurt or not. And he's still just making shit happen. Travis Kelce, like I said earlier, is deadly in the red zone, and Mahomes is just doing MVP things.
Yeah.
And Andy Reid is coaching him like a Coach of the Year candidate should.
This has always been like a good game. I'm just curious, though, what is Brandon Staley's record against the Chiefs? Because I feel like it always slips away from them.
I'm starting to not believe in Brandon Staley anymore. Like, I liked him last year. He got me all pumped up. But I think I was mostly pumped up about Brandon Staley because of Herbert. Okay. I don't think I was actually pumped up about Brandon Staley. It was like a facade. It was an illusion. And it was procured by Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, I mean, he should have thrown that last interception away. Late in the fourth quarter, he threw an interception. It was second and 15, and they still had time left. Mm-hmm. He should have just thrown it away. at that point, he was tired. His ribs hurt, so that's not on him. I'm blaming that one on Brandon Staley. But the Chiefs are fucking good.
Yep.
The Chiefs, as long as they have Patrick Mahomes and
Travis Kelce,
they're going to be a playoff contender. They're probably going to go to the AFC Championship game, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. They're going to have these great fucking and like it must be. Imagine what it's like to be a Chiefs fan right now. Like you got Patrick Mahomes for at least another 10 years of like prime Patrick Mahomes.
Probably the same feelings the Patriots had for quite some time.
Yeah, with Brady, huh?
Yep.
Although it just seemed like in the teens, like we were like from 2012 to like 2020, it just seemed like I was waiting on him to just fall. We were all just like, okay, this is the year he falls off. This is the year he falls off. This is the year he falls, and he just never did.
They never did.
Well, whereas like Patrick Mahomes has these next 10 years for sure, and I can't imagine Andy Reid giving up anytime soon either.
No.
So. Great game. This division I thought was going to be better, but hey, these two teams are still putting on a show. Great color, uniform color matchup.
Yep.
Always love the red and those powder blues.
They also did the gold pants, or like the yellow gold pants.
With those the lightning bolt.
Yeah, those were sick.
Yeah. LA the Chargers uniforms are always. I like the powder blue better than like the dark navy blue.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to stick with the lighter colors, but yeah. Anyways, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right, the Chiefs beat the Chargers 30-27. Last game, 49ers versus Cardinals. Mexico City game. Yo, the Mexicans love fucking football.
They love football.
They love American football. I think that just. There's a lot more people in the world that love American football than we think. They actually watch. I think they might actually watch American football.
I think it's more of like American soccer fans try to convince us that the world doesn't like our type of football, but in reality, I mean, hey, the Germans love us.
The Germans, dude. I think it's the most fastest growing sport in the world.
I mean, it's expanding, and the NFL's getting their footprint,
Yep.
in other countries. So it'll be interesting to see if other leagues kind of develop.
Again, I think we need to go to different cities too, like Barcelona. Again, Barcelona would be fucking lit.
Oh yeah,
lit. I mean, obviously Rome would be dope. Athens, Greece, Paris, France. Just throwing out some. Just stay away from Russia for a little bit. It was a close first half. I'll give the Cardinals that. I think Cliff Kingsbury is wrongfully on the hot seat for his job. Like I've heard, I don't know if he's officially on the hot seat, but I've heard rumors about him being on the hot seat.
Well, it's I don't know. You got to think something's wrong, and it's you can kind of tell it's between Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. Mm-hmm. So one's got to go.
Yep.
Type of situation. And they just spent a lot of money on Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I know. But he also hasn't played since Warzone 2 came out. Just saying.
I mean, we kind of could have called that one.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that. You're right. They did pay Kyler Murray a bunch of money. We'll see what happens. The 49ers defense they're all dogs. The 49ers defense is awesome. Kittle's finally doing Kittle things.
I was about to say the offense is loaded.
Deebo Samuel should touch. He should have to touch the ball at least 50% of the plays, the offensive plays.
I completely agree with you on that, and that has nothing in regards to that he's on my fantasy team.
It has nothing to do with him being on your fantasy team.
No, not at all.
No, you're not biased
at
all. Okay, I believe you, Joe. I believe you.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he's just a playmaker. When he gets the ball in his hands, he makes things happen. So you want the ball in somebody like that's hand all the time.
Yeah, and ESPN continued to shove down the stats of how yards after catch, and how the San Fran has the top in each player category. So the top running back, the top wide receiver, and the top tight end of yards after carry.
Or yards after catch?
Yards after catch.
Or yards after you get the football.
Yeah.
That's nice. Good for them. They got some dogs.
They got some dogs.
Which is good because Jimmy G is not. I think that's just part of Kyle Shanahan's genius. Like, he knows Jimmy G's not like the greatest thrower, so he caters it around. He just gets a bunch of guys who can just make shit happen while they have the ball in their hands.
I guarantee you that he sees that as a flex, Kyle Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's like, my offense is so good, I don't even need a quarterback.
Exactly. I went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy fucking Garoppolo.
Yeah, I can just do anything, with my offense.
That's true. That is a flex. That is a hell of a flex. You got anything else on this game?
That's about it.
Terrible color. Terrible color for the uniform colors. Clashed really bad.
Really got on your nerves.
It did get on my nerves. I didn't like it. Yeah, so the 49ers destroy the Cardinals 38-10. Let's see. Let's get into some college.
Oh, absolutely.
College we had, honestly, this weekend in college was way better than I had thought because if you looked at the slate, it was all blowouts.
Most of them were blowouts. We had a few that looked like some good matchups. Your Oregon, number 12 Oregon versus number 10 Utah, number 7 USC versus number 16 UCLA. So there was some that was sprinkling in there, but most of the guys are getting ready for their rivalry week.
Right. So it was just like a LSU versus UAB. I mean, like we were at that game. It was. It was nice to watch. LSU just dominate a team. Mm-hmm. It was great. It's just like you expected it, and it's good because the LSU beat UAB like they were supposed to beat them, and all of our guys looked really good. Jaden Daniels is a fucking monster. But yeah, like, we had the Michigan Illinois game.
Michigan Illinois.
That should have. Two of the top 5 teams should have gone down. Or
Yep.
2 of the top 4 teams should have gone down. TCU should have lost to Baylor. Michigan should have lost to Illinois.
And one of the top 5 teams did.
Actually did. Tennessee got mollywopped. Did you see that? All right, so for South Carolina, if you look at all the offensive possessions in the first half, all touchdowns.
Yep.
If you look at all the possessions in the second half, all touchdowns with the exception of one.
Which was the first drive in the second half.
And that was a punt.
Yep.
All of them touchdowns. There was 0 defense played in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, Tennessee, I mean, we've known about their offense all the time. Their defense got exposed.
Yeah, big time. Like, Spencer Rattler had his way. Mm-hmm. He did whatever he wanted to do with that.
He really looked like the number 1 quarterback coming out of high school that he was.
Yes. He did have a lot of hype. Did you see the Texas A&M stadium?
Yeah, empty.
Their fans don't like watching Texas A&M football.
And the thing is, it's like they probably didn't really like watching that game.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was frustrating.
UMass is like they're dead last. They're like dead last in like all of college football.
That's like 100 teams.
You don't struggle with a team like UMass.
Yeah. That was it was tough.
It was tough.
So I've been trying to convince myself because, like, it seems like a tall order to beat Georgia in the SEC championship game. I've been doing a pretty good job of convincing myself that we will win. Georgia did not look so hot against Kentucky, a Kentucky team that lost to Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think we might have it. I'm actually I'm petrified of the Texas A&M game coming up this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Petrified because I think we might be overlooking them and looking at Georgia. Like, I think I need Brian Kelly to have this team focused up for this game because for some reason Texas A&M has not been playing very well, but they will get up for this game.
Well, yes, and that's already been evidenced by one of their wide receivers that said that they are going to spoil LSU's season, but said it in a little bit more of an explicit manner. So that is bulletin material for Brian Kelly, and I don't know. I like the whole mentality Brian Kelly's bringing to the team, where it's like, prepare each game. We're gonna remain focused, to like keep our focus on just keeping the right type of principles as far as like mindset that they need to be in. So
it's like Coach Saban. Coach Saban would coach them harder for like little tiny games like the Citadel because you lose focus.
Yes.
You lose focus. You don't really think about it. So, but like when Alabama would play LSU, he didn't need to keep the guys focused because they were already focused.
It's already a big game.
It's a huge game. So like I think we'll see if Brian Kelly can do this because like this is again, I'm very very worried about this game. I shouldn't be this worried because LSU should soundly beat A&M, but I am worried. Very worried. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't share that nervousness on this one. I think Texas A&M's that bad.
You think they're that bad?
I think they're that bad. I mean, it's fucking UMass.
I know.
Like, they struggled against UMass.
I know, but they always play LSU tight. We always have it's going to go into like 3 or 4 OTs. It's just. Like
you have PTSD
I do
from
have
that
PTSD,
from that
man.
overtime.
The 7 overtime, like oh my god!
In your mind, we're still playing overtime.
We're still playing that game, and it's 2 years later.
Hey, the rule got set. The rule got changed because of that game.
I know that was wild.
Because
it was just I'll never forget that night. I went out to the club and I used up 3 different phones' batteries watching that game.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Is there any more college games you want to talk about?
There was still a couple good ones. I think we didn't really talk about the TCU Baylor.
Dude, that was.
I really hated to see that TCU pull that off, but at the same time, they did pull off a hell of a field goal.
Yeah.
At the calling that play over the middle,
and then like they got set up. They got set up in like 4 seconds. Dude.
Apparently, they practice that every Thursday. The coach said, "Yeah."
Okay, well, it showed.
Yeah,
it showed that like I really didn't think they were going to be able to get on the field and call that because they could. It was a 4th down, so they couldn't spike the ball. Mm-hmm. So like they got up there, lined up, and the guy made it. Like so, kudos to TCU. I really wanted them to lose because I need LSU to jump up, but hey, they jumped to number 5.
They're inching their way closer.
It's just going to be tough if USC wins out. It's going to be hard to keep one lost USC team out. So we'll see what the playoff committee will do. Any other games? Texas destroyed Kansas.
Arkansas kind of demolished Ole Miss.
I know. What the fuck was that?
Really started sending the Lane Kiffin to Auburn rumors flying around.
I'm talking going. I got duped by one of them.
Well, the same guy that predicted the AD going to Auburn was predicting that Lane Kiffin was a done deal.
Right.
And that kind of pissed off Lane Kiffin. But Lane Kiffin
may have jumped the gun.
Yeah, but Lane Kiffin being the troll that he is, definitely responded like in the most hilarious fashion.
Yeah, wait, what did he do again?
So he took the exact tweet that was formatted how Lane Kiffin was taking the job to Auburn. He actually just changed the journalist that posted that tweet. Used him as a report that he was posting up about how that journalist was moving over to another TV station.
That's funny.
Yeah, and he was acting like he was breaking that news.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was really hilarious.
This is why we love Lane Kiffin. This is just why we love Lane Kiffin.
If you have a Twitter, my suggestion to you is to go follow his page because you will not be disappointed. I follow and I subscribe or get notified off of his tweets.
They're that good.
They are that good.
Any other college games you want to talk about?
I think that's about it.
Let's see. I got like 1 or 2 notes from the NBA. The Lakers suck. NBA's in full swing. Pelicans are awesome. They're leading their division. The Nets are a dumpster fire, which I mean, you could kind of see that coming. Kyrie Irving's back to playing. They just lost to Philly tonight. Let's see. Yeah, Boston's really good. Milwaukee's really good.
And the Lakers suck.
And the Lakers suck.
Did we? You already said that,
I
didn't
already
you?
said that, but
yeah,
it's okay. We can. I never get tired of saying that. Lakers suck. So yeah, we'll as obviously as the season continues to play out, we'll do a little more NBA. We usually wait till football's about done, and then we'll start really diving into the NBA. But yeah, that's our talking NBA, talking basketball.
Yeah, we'll get more warmed up into this, but just while football is king.
Football, always.
So
yeah. Anything else?
I think that's about it.
Alrighty, we'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Later.